What's the best thing about being an FPV pilot?
I was just sitting inside an airplane, flying around like you're, you know, Air Force, you know, Top Gun fighter pilot. Yeah, right.
And what's the worst thing about being an FPV pilot?
Flying with Dave Payne.
Remote ID.
Remote. That's right. And remote ID. Yeah.
And what can you do better?
Come out more often, maybe more than once every 6 months. Yeah, once a quarter.
It's kind of a, I guess you'd call it a freedom. You know, you can do kind of what you want. You get out there, you see your surroundings, you see what's going on. You can watch coyotes, you can look at wild pigs, you can follow quail, you can just do almost anything. You can look at like our new buildings out here, you can look at the construction. You just get to see a little bit of everything. It's just a freedom thing.
What's the worst thing about being an FPV pilot?
Money. Money. Yeah.
Brazilian Pete.
How are you guys?
What's your YouTube channel?
I Can Fly Drone. The best thing, I believe, it is the freedom to go higher and higher and see how our world has been growing. And I love to see it in Mother Nature, so that it is perfect. I love it. It's the freedom.
What's the worst thing about being an FPV pilot?
Control. How the people are controlling us with saying you can't fly over here, over there, and I feel like has been watched for somebody. Like I'm not free to be free. It's like it's a horrible situation. We don't have a place enough to be flying. The people are trying to sue you if something, it is not technically wrong, but it's almost wrong. Like when cops just cross with you, nothing happened, and give you a ticket for attempting for something, but nothing happened. So it's technically the same. It is that.
Well, in FPV, what can you do better?
Oh my gosh. One thing it is long time flying, another thing it is more places to fly. We need to be more, of course, the accomplishment to be more right instead of to be fight each other. That is, that's the worst for me, is a fighting. It's trying to complain. Like for example, we have a place and the people say, hey, you can't fly on top of my property. But they said that your property, it is only a little high. After that, every airspace is free to fly. And then all kind of cops, medical rescue or whatever, they are free to fly wherever they want, but we aren't. So, is that?
Oh, the thing that I like most about FPV is being able to get in close proximity and follow each other, fly more like in formation or whatever, instead of flying individually as individuals. You can get closer together, you can play chase through the bushes, you can fly high and play like tag or whatever. So to me, it's more interactive and funner that way.
It's social. Right?
Yeah, very much so.
Cool.
And that's half this gig is social.
And what is the worst thing about FPV?
The worst thing for me, because I started out line of sight and not an expert at FPV, is when I'm under the goggles. Unless I'm really used to the plane, I can't always tell when I get in a high alpha, which causes the plane to fly more difficult, and you run, especially if you're low to the ground, you run the risk of crashing if you get into a high alpha and can't get out of it. So
there you go. Okay, Eric, tell me, what is the best thing about being an FPV pilot?
Being able to fly super low to the ground, scare the birds right off the ground, crashing the trees, almost. Just narrating my current flight. I love flying low and slow, and then speeding through pipes and all sorts of stuff. I love the control that comes with FPV. Plus, even when you're up high, you just see everything, and it's like you're there. I love it.
What's the worst thing about flying FPV?
You mean other than the new remote ID rule? Running out of batteries.
What is that? Yeah, running out of batteries, yeah. Having to buy more batteries.
Not having enough to keep flying, yeah.
And what can you do better?
Working on control and following and getting up close next to people and you know, keeping it steady.
All right. Okay, do a low flyby for us. What is the best thing about flying FPV?
I think the low risk. You're not actually in the plane, you're just sitting here. So when you do crash, you know, your life's not on the line.
Safety of the armchair.
Yep, safety of the armchair.
And what is the worst thing about flying FPV?
Remote ID for sure. Luckily mine doesn't have it, but it's bad when you're looking at anything new. All the new stuff has remote ID, so it kind of limits your options on what you can actually buy and come out here and fly with.
So Ben, tell me, what is your favorite thing about FPV?
The variety. I mean, flying in general, or the perspective.
And what is the worst part of FPV?
Oh, having multiple cameras at once, which is what I'm doing right now. All right, I'm gonna land.
So tell me, you're flying 2 airplanes?
Yeah,
How did you launch the first one?
I launched it manually.
And then you're doing a spotter with the second one?
What? That thing's flying off.
What is the best thing about flying FPV?
Well, just I don't know, it's just a feeling of freedom, just flying around in the air. And I think the people, right? Lots of good people that we come out here and fly with. The camaraderie is good.
And what's the worst thing about flying FPV?
Well, remote ID.
Yeah, anything else?
No, I don't think there's anything bad about it.
Okay, what can you do better in FPV?
Well, I just need to get all my planes flying.
Repairing your planes?
Yeah, get the fleet,
Can you be better?
fleet in order, yeah.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.